I hear you.
You can tell we're having technical difficulties.
That's like this.
Don't say that. I'm always fiddling with the controls on the back of there because it's like a 1 out of 10 system, and I still don't know what is good and what is bad.
If you go too high, like me, holy crap. I'm like the Incredible Hulk on there.
It's all green. I just moved it like a hair. I literally moved it like a hair.
It went red.
That's like I have so I have to like get in the habit when we do this, and when I laugh, I lean backwards to laugh, just because otherwise it just goes off the charts.
Oh man, I laugh too much too, so I'll make sure to lean back.
Nice. Dr. Bertoni says our stream sounds awesome.
All right, that's good.
We're a little laggy though, just because I suck. No, but I'm all firewired in now. Thanks, Dr. Bertoni. Appreciate you.
Hopefully my stream's not screwing up the Wi-Fi.
Good over there.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, we've been doing stuff for a little while there. We're back here, Life on Record. The Stories Here in Town show presents Sal. Say your last name because I always fuck it up.
Salvatero.
There you go. I just want to say Ortega. I don't know why. Because is that like racist or something?
No. I look like an Ortega, right?
Yeah. The line. Is that common?
I get Ortega, Oreo,
what's that?
Ordero.
What's that? Like seasoning brand? Is that Ortega as well? It's Ortega
Yeah.
seasoning. It is.
Yeah,
That's why I get it.
All the time.
Just walk by the pre-mixed.
And the worst part is, like, my wife gets it now.
Yeah.
My kids get it.
Oh
so
Jesus.
I'm like, I even on the phone, like when I call customer service to anyplace, I'm like, Otero. I don't even try to say it because I know they're gonna be like, how do you spell it?
You should be like, at one point I was a metal worker or a tarot card reader. Or tarot.
Otero. Yeah, they add vowels to it. It's like a Oteria. I'm like, whoa, there was an O at the end, not an O-A and another O. You know, it's like, oh man, my name gets so much.
People look at my last name and they always add the S. There's no fucking S. It's Penke. There's no S. We couldn't afford the S.
See, Penke, it's easy to say.
But when
at least your name is not
people
your
say
first
Penke
name.
and shit. I'm like, what, how did you get Penke from that? It's Penke. How did you get Penke?
Well, the funny thing is, I shortened my first name because
Salvador
is like, so many people screw that
Nah,
up.
dog, I think you're good with that. You need to stick with Salvador.
Oh,
Salvador is so badass. If you get like a glaive on your back, and you walk around and you're Salvador, and they're like, that sword isn't even from your culture. You're like, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm Salvador.
But then if I start signing shit, you know, signing pieces of art, I'm gonna have to use up too much real estate. Sal is just like, and now I just sign my art Otero, going down almost like a Chinese script.
You should like do it Otero, but like write it like this.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So they go, you gotta read Chinese like that. It's the same thing.
That's pretty cool. It looks Chinese. I like the stamp look. You know, it's like
just a nice easy.
Yeah, well, like on YouTube when I draw live, or not live, but I do the speed drawing.
Yeah.
I'll close up and then I do it almost like it looks like someone's using calligraphy.
Oh, that's cool.
So I like that. That's my new thing. So that's like the thing I focus on now.
Mm-hmm. Shit. Okay, so we're obviously gonna get to the comic book stuff and the artistry and stuff like that. But like, where are you from? Like, how's your family? Where did you grow up? What was it like?
Well, I was born in Puerto Rico, but
no shit.
I was only there for a year. So then my dad brought us here because he had health issues. So then he came here, and then I was raised in Rochester pretty much my whole life.
Why'd they pick Rochester? You figure being born in Puerto Rico.
Oh, we have family here. So
no
yeah,
shit.
my dad had an uncle here, and he kind of took us in and helped us, helped us out. And yeah, that's why I have like a Rochester accent. Like, I don't even sound like
long enough to know.
I don't even sound like I'm off the boat. You know,
that's funny. That's so cool though. So then you end up coming here with your dad. How many siblings you got?
I have one little brother, I have an older brother, and then a sister.
So you got 3 siblings. And they're all older than you, obviously.
Yeah, well, my older siblings, they're half, so like they're just my dad's side. So my little brother is my full brother. So like, yeah.
So your dad was freaky in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, no, it's not that. He just, when he was a lot younger, he had a separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I didn't really get to know my older siblings until later in life.
So they didn't live up here when you moved up here?
No, they stayed in Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't know them as much, so now I do.
Mm-hmm.
So now, you know.
Do they ever call you a whitewashed gringo?
Oh, no, I call myself that. No, all the time. Like, I always compare myself to a coconut because I'm brown on the outside and white on the inside.
No, if it's a young coconut, you're green, and then we gotta call the doctors.
Well, I'm not young anymore, man. I'm falling apart.
It's disabled.
No, it's like, it's funny because when I used to work customer service jobs, like at a call center, so many people would be like, yeah, thanks a lot, and my boss, you know, in quality control, they'll never see you. So when they finally see you, they'll be like, holy crap, I thought you were white.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, my vanilla brother.
I was like, what? that was pretty racist.
Yeah. Where's the line, bro? That's where you just hold up like a little bottle of caramel.
Well, am I supposed to have an accent now when I talk to people?
Instantaneously. It's only a phone accent though.
I can't do it.
So whether you do it on purpose or not, you just get like one of those little converter contraptions you put on the end of the phone. So when you're talking, it like the scary movie guy. Want to know what color your phone is?
I can do like all sorts of like video game voices and, you know, character voices because I love video games and cartoons, but I can't do a Spanish accent for the life of me. It's like impossible.
You go there, they know. They just know. There goes Sal again. He's down to visit family.
Oh, dude, I remember doing a podcast, and through the whole thing, I was just doing a Vegeta voice.
Yes!
Through the whole thing.
That's exciting.
And the guy was just like, are you going to stop? Because...
Sean Shunnell or die, man.
Oh, man.
I can't believe how much it costs to see those guys at con, though.
Well, Sean's a really cool guy. He doesn't really charge to talk to him. Like, he charges for you know, autographs and stuff like that. But he is super down to earth and chill.
He seems like it.
Yeah, and...
Seems like a sweetie.
Yeah. He's like that weird uncle.
The Funkle?
he's like Screech, you know?
Oh,
like,
no shit.
He's so cool, though. Like,
but he's got such a great voice. Like, that's why I can't watch Super yet till there's enough episodes that he's translated, just because I won't do it.
And he doesn't change his voice.
No, it's his voice.
That's his voice.
The guy who does Vegeta definitely changes his voice.
Oh yeah, and I've heard him, and I've never got to meet Chris Sabat in person, so I've gotten to meet Sean in person. And when I met him, I was expecting someone to have a different voice. As soon as he talks, I'm like, oh shit, it's Goku.
Just identical. How cool is that? You gotta love that though.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Cause he's what, the fourth person to do Goku's voice?
Sean?
Yeah.
No, only the second. Because
wasn't there the dude in Canada, and then there's the lady in Japan, and then there was someone else?
Oh yeah, you're counting the Japanese.
That's still a person, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying the Japanese aren't people?
Well,
we got that on record already.
I thought you were talking about dubs.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, he's Goku for sure. I like that. Like, it was interesting that they did originally launch it with the Canadian voice actor translations and stuff like that, and they were still really good. But like, it seems like once Sean got put into the picture there, the attitude of Goku changed, because when you look at Goku in the Japanese version versus the American version, he's so stupid in the Japanese version, and then the American version, he's just always always processing, always learning, always developing. He's like a really conscious individual.
Well, it's funny because like the Ocean dub, which is the Canadian guys, I grew up watching those.
Yeah, me too.
So they got ingrained in me. And so when I finally listened to the Funimation guys, I didn't like them.
No.
I hated Sean Schimmel and I hated Chris Sabat. And as I was getting older, I appreciated them more. Now I go back and watch the Ocean dub ones, and I hate those guys. I was like, that's not Dragon Ball anymore.
It just feels so much better. That's like, do you watch the Team 4-Star guys?
Well,
they're so funny.
Sean, like, I promised Sean I would not watch Team 4-Star.
Oh, why?
He's not a fan of it.
Oh, so. They're so funny. They're so well done,
I made a promise to my Dragon Ball.
All right, he kept it cool. You kept it honest. I love it. That's cool, though.
I told him, I was like, I can't watch it, even though like it looks hilarious. But
you ever heard of the multi-universe theory?
Well,
multi-worlds.
Yeah, well, that's. I don't want to ruin it for you.
No. Because what I'm saying is, just think about it like this. In another universe, there is another you that has watched them, so you can enjoy that fact.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dragon Ball.
No.
If you know Super...
I haven't seen any of it yet. I'm waiting. I want all of it done just so I can binge watch it like a fiend. I know there's only like, what, 40 episodes translated so far to like 150 plus?
I don't know, because I watched Japanese ones. I'm okay with that.
Hate you. Can't do it.
I'm already at the 100th 32nd episode. Tonight's the 133rd. So.
This is the guy that's watched Gurren Lagann front to back like 14 or 15 times, plus all the movies, just because Gurren Lagann is up there with Dragon Ball Z.
See, that's how I am with Castlevania. Like, I've played every Castlevania, even the ones that I can't even beat. I'll just try to.
Did you ever do that? Did you ever go back to games when you were a kid that you couldn't beat, and then as an adult you try to play them, you're like, what the hell? Why can't you expect a child to beat this?
Well, there was I just played a game that I just beat, that I could not beat as a kid. I think it was Castlevania 4 for Super Nintendo. I remember as a kid, like, I could not beat that game, and it's Castlevania. Like, everyone expects you to beat Castlevania, and I finally beat it, and I'm like, this game is still fucking hard.
Right, how savage is that? Did you ever play, like, the Dracula and the Frankenstein games for, like, Sega consoles?
I played Bram Stoker.
Yeah, the Bram Stoker. How hard is that? Like, the easy mode is, I went through 3 levels.
They're licensed games. They make those games impossible to win.
They're so hard! They're so hard! The only games that are, like, harder than that is, like I never beat, I beat Rex when I was an adult, but Toe Jam and Earl, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me right now, dude? I tried to play Toe Jam and Earl, and it's just, ungodly difficult to beat that game, because it takes so long.
Yeah, the Toe Jam and Earl is one of those games where it's more of just have a couple friends and just laugh.
Just keep trading.
Just
keep giving the control when you get frustrated.
Yeah, because you're not going to beat it. And then that's the thing is, like, I'm a huge, like, game collector. I love video games. And so you go back to games before, there was no easy scale.
No.
Even easy was hard.
Yeah.
Now games, it's like everything just walks you through.
They might have, like, just given you, like, a little more HP. That's how you get easy to hard.
Yeah, it's like now, it's like they walk you, like, there's a lot of hand-holding in games. Yeah. It's like, hey, look here, this is where you gotta go.
the arrow, because in real life there's an arrow floating there. It's like a Vegas sign.
I remember Mega Man X, like, no one told you that you had to beat this boss to go to this boss.
Yeah, because you had to do them in a certain order to make it easier. Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I'm like, I'm just gonna fight whoever looks cool.
Those games were always so... The Cutthroat Island for Game Boy? Jesus Christ.
Dude, games were purposely stressful, so you didn't beat them and then have to go buy another game. Like
we remember before there was a buyer's guide. Like, what was the cheat guides called?
Oh, strategy guides.
Yeah, the strat guides. Oh, like, dude. Playing Pokemon the first time with no strat guide, you're just like...
I remember I beat Pokemon as a kid, and then someone told me, oh, you have red? Now you have to buy blue. What? There's a second game? F this, I'm done.
It wasn't even just that, though. They released red and blue at the same time, and then they released yellow. And in red and blue, there was certain ones you couldn't get in each other's games. And then in yellow, there was certain ones you still couldn't get.
But my dad had a strict policy as a kid. Yeah. They were like, you buy a game, you want another one, you gotta trade your game.
Oh, shit.
Or, you gotta work, do stuff in the neighborhood, make some money. So I spent all this money getting Pokemon, and then I'm like, holy shit, there's another one?
Yeah. How tough is that?
Oh, man.
Especially when they're selling those games back in the day for like $50.
Yeah.
A little tiny cartridge.
So that's when I found out about trading.
Yeah.
Now I look back, and I kind of want to, like go back in time and punch myself. Like, don't trade your games.
You can't, no. You can't.
Now they're skyrocketing in value.
I've got the Lime Limited Edition SD in the back there. Even damaged as shit as it is, it's still worth $150.
Yeah, and the Pikachu one, the yellow one.
Yeah.
That one's almost so rare.
Small fortune there.
Yeah.
Someone probably would give you 500 bones for it damaged.
One of my biggest regrets was ever getting rid of my Sega Saturn.
Oh.
Because you can't find them anymore.
Kept all my consoles. That was not a mistake I made. Then again, I did destroy like 3 GameCubes. My brother and I probably went through like 8 or 9 copies of Smash Brothers Melee.
Well, GameCube's one of those systems that they're like a diamond in the rough.
I know. It's so Caliber. It was so fun.
You find them in little kids' rooms back in the day.
Yeah.
But now every adult has them.
Oh my god, just because we all know the throwbacks.
Yeah.
The nice thing was though with the Wii when they released it, you could play all of the GameCube games on the Wii.
But it's emulated. It's not, you don't have the real GameCube.
Yeah, well, I got lucky. I bought one from, I looked on Craigslist right before my friends from Florida came up, and I was like, damn, I want to find one. Like, I need one. I was like, I need Smash Brothers, and I need Double Dash, something really good. I didn't want to say Hole in the Head, because nobody needs a Hole in the Head. But I looked online real fast, and I found a copy of it. Yeah, I found somebody out near Fairport who had one, and I texted him and said, yeah, I got it, and I got there, and he's like, I got 2 controls, I got a power pack, here it is, you know. Comes with all this stuff. It came with that adapter that goes on the bottom for the Game Boy games.
What?
And then he goes, I don't know if there's any games though. You're gonna have to look in the box. So I was like, what happened? He goes, well, my son left for college. He didn't come back, and then I told him to clean his stuff out. It's been over a year. He goes, so I'm selling everything because we're moving. I was like, cool. So for $60, I got a GameCube with 2 controllers, a power pack, and bought more controllers. There was no memory cards. I had a memory card. Popped the lid open. Super Smash Bros. Man, they sit right there.
I was gonna say the Brad Pitt line. What's in the box?
What's in the box? $100 game right there, even used.
Yeah,
how crazy is that?
Well, I have Double Dash. And,
$200.
And I won't get rid of it because my wife's like, do we really play that now that we have the Wii version? I'm like, the Wii version is nothing compared to the GameCube.
No, everybody knows if you've played Double Dash, that's easily the best Mario Kart they've ever made. That was the first one that had weight distribution.
And it's the first one that really had the
power slide.
The power slide.
They did it in the first one, just not in the 64 one, just not as efficiently.
Well,
you could still easy it up.
You couldn't dash and then speed up.
Yeah.
Like you could drift, but you couldn't speed up.
But they definitely did a really good job on that game. And then it was the first time they added some of the new equipments. It was like a super icon. It's like I still look for
the blue shell
party games.
Yeah,
I still look for those games, and I can't find any good ones.
Yeah, Mario Party. My daughter, she loves Mario Party, but for the Wii, and I'm like, this is not the same. I remember getting freaking blisters.
Burns on your head doing the spinning shit. Yeah. That's how you had to do it, man.
That's the game right there.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about the blisters.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! Because
I
you played too much that day.
Well, I took it out of the 64 out of storage.
Help yourself.
Thank you. But took the 64 out of storage and had her try it out.
She probably thought the graphics were dog shit.
No, she actually, my older daughter, she hated it. But the younger one, she was like, hey, this is cool. She thought the controller was a trip.
Isn't it nifty though?
Yeah,
it's a 3-pronged attack.
And then I put it up on a retro gaming group, like a picture of her playing it. And of course, the first thing everybody says, she's holding the controller wrong.
What did she have? Did she have her inside or outside? She had it outside, didn't she?
Yeah, she had her hand here. And I was like, you can't appreciate the fact that I'm sharing something that's 20 plus years old.
Listen here, dicks.
Dicks, yeah.
Just appreciate this. This is monk fruit, if that's what you like. It's like a stevia, but it's not a stevia.
Oh, I'm cool with that. I'm a health nut too, so.
Dr. Bertoni says that's why he likes Cuphead. Probably something we previously said.
Cuphead, I haven't played it yet.
He was live streaming it the other day.
It's only on Xbox though, right?
No idea. I just watched him do it. It was really difficult.
It looks cool because as a artist, like, having that old 1920s art look to it. It looks pretty sweet.
It reminded me of like the Tex Avery show and stuff like
that.
Yeah. Yo, when people don't know what that is, I get really bothered.
Really?
I made that reference to my wife this morning because her friend's name is Avery. I was like, oh, the Tex Avery's talking to you. She goes, who?
I make so many references that go over people's heads nowadays, and I'm like, you must be young.
I got a buddy, there's a word for it, like when you say something that's like not overly complicated, but just goes over most people's heads, and it's funny to you. There's like a military term for it. I can never remember what it is, but he's always calling me it. Like you're too smart for your own good in a way.
I've heard that before, and I get that a lot because I make a lot of video game references, but it's obscure video games.
Yeah.
And so like
he goes, I played that one in the dark web where it's like that freaky room, the devil, the Satan thing.
Hong Kong 97. You ever heard of that game?
No.
Oh, dude, it's the worst game ever made.
Oh no.
It's a game that was created in 1995 by Happy Soft. In China.
Because everybody likes to be Happy Soft.
There's a whole story behind it.
Yeah.
And it's about Bruce Lee's, I think it was Bruce Lee's family member is going to fight all of China to stop the dictator. And it's just a shooter, and when you shoot people, they turn into nuclear bombs.
Oh, jeez.
It's the worst game ever made. But it's funny as shit. Like, just find it on YouTube and just watch it. You will laugh your ass off.
Is that one with like really crappy graphics?
Oh, it's horrible.
Where it looks like it's just like little bleeps and stuff like that here, and then you just see him falling out. You gotta aim ahead of him and shoot him and stuff like that.
And the sprite is Jackie Chan.
Oh no shit!
And it's just Jackie Chan like in the
Oh my god, that's awesome!
were made.
That's amazing. Did you know that McDonald's had a video game on Sega Genesis back in the day?
And it was awesome.
What was it called? I can never remember the goddamn name.
It was just, I think it was just called,
No, it's not.
no,
It's
the,
not.
Mc,
It's not. It's not. It's got some weird name. Like, you can play this black kid or this white kid, and they run around and they collect little floating M's, and they spew like goo out of a gun.
Because the one I know you played is Ronald McDonald.
Oh, I didn't even know there was that game. Trying to get this shit away from the Hamburglar. It's an innuendo, right?
You have to wonder. You have to wonder. They go into a dev team.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, they're pitching the idea. It's like 5 guys.
Because hold on.
All right. This is the idea for the video game. And then they're gonna be like, all right. So what's the idea? McDonald's. Boom. They drop it. Kids
McNuggets and shit.
and you see all the devs like, what the hell? But then they drop that McDonald's check on the table. They're happy as shit.
Imagine being Michael Jackson walking in to pitch that game. He's just coming and he goes, all right, guys, I have a game for y'all. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to moonwalk everywhere. We're going to kill people, bad people.
Dude, that Moonwalker game was still...
Yo, wasn't it great? It was so bad. But it was, he fucking throws dust. He throws dust at people.
You remember the old Chuck E. Cheese here, right?
Yes.
The old one. I'm talking about
one
where...
in Henrietta, right?
No, like, where Rose is now in Greece.
I don't go to Greece. I have too much money to go to Greece.
Well, there used to be an old Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I'm talking about when there used to be arcades.
Back right after DZ went under?
Before that. I'm talking about when people had almost afros.
Yeah.
Like, they started shaving down their afros.
God, you can't be that young, old. Fuck.
Oh, I was young at that time.
He goes, I got some kids. That's the line.
Let's put it this way. This Chuck E. Cheese had a Sinistar in it.
Oh, God, what the hell's that?
It's an arcade cabinet that will put nightmare. It's nightmare fuel. But that had the Moonwalker arcade.
Yo, what's that church that was turned into an arcade place?
Here?
Yeah.
It's probably Schoolburger.
No. It literally was a church that was turned into like an arcade. It's pretty recent. It's over, I think, downtown, like near Boulder and stuff like that. Boulder Coffee.
It's Schoolburger, isn't it? South Ave? South Clinton? I'm still there though.
I'm gonna go one of these days. It's gonna be on the list now.
I love video games, and like on my channel I went and I recorded the video game museum inside Strong.
Yeah, that's really legit.
Oh dude, I can spend all day in there. My wife gets mad at me because she'll be like, we came here to take the kids. We've been up here for 2 freaking hours.
You should be like, go show them the Wegmans. One day they can be cashiers.
Well, that's my trick. Is I'll leave her at Wegmans. I'll leave her at Wegmans with the little one.
I thought it was a treat to be a cashier at the Wegmans. I want to be a cashier. I want to be a cashier.
Dude, you never want to get stuck with my little one at Wegmans. Because she'll keep going and going and going, and you're like, how many times are you going to keep buying crap? And like, keep getting the same receipt. Going there, like my oldest daughter, she's not a big gamer as my little one, but she loves the museum.
Oh, because it's fascinating. There's just so much interesting stuff up there.
Dude, it's the best $100 you can spend for the year. Yeah. The membership's only $100. We get it every year.
No shit.
We get it and we go, and I'm like, whenever it's crappy out or the kids are out of school, that's where we go.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you got places to hang out. I've done a couple shows at the museum.
Oh, that's cool.
So some of the people there already know. So they're like, oh, hey, Sal.
Oh, what's up, Sal? Salvador.
So it's kind of nice. And then I have a friend who used to work with me when I was younger at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And he's the manager at the gift shop.
Okay, that's.
I've been dying to go see him, you know, and
$100. Is it $100 a person or just $100 overall?
For the family.
That's really good.
Dude, it's like 100 and some change with tax and stuff.
Well, you gotta do me something, man. You got a family. You have beautiful, constructible, moldable minds. You need to take them to the planetarium. You need to take them to the Museum of American History. And you need to take them and show them the dinosaur bones.
Well, we have memberships to the Science Museum too.
I gotta go.
Oh, dude.
I haven't been so long.
I'm a huge fan of Nikola Tesla.
Oh yeah.
So whenever we go there, this is my tradition. We go up to the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Take a picture in front of Tesla every time.
Oh,
my kids think it's
so funny.
They're like, Dad, you're so You're so lame.
You should be like, Elon Musk wouldn't think we're lame.
Right. He named his damn cars after this man.
Yeah.
Show some damn respect.
No, see, that's where's the building, the science building?
It's right next to the planetarium.
Is it? Jesus Christ, this is how you can tell I haven't been in so long. I want to go to the art museum too. I'm a little.
See I graduated from School of the Arts, so it's right in front of the museum.
School of the Arts. I love soda.
It's right in front of the museum, so
Oh shit.
it's funny because the 4 years I was there, we only went to the museum once.
What road is that off of?
Prince Street?
Oh, okay, I know where that is.
Alexander and Prince Street.
Yeah.
But that museum, I don't think it costs that much to really.
No, it's not that expensive to go into. And then when you're done, you take the little trek over to Starry Night Cafe and you wear your big Coke bottle glasses and your inappropriate hat when
Are they
it's too
still
warm.
open?
I think Starry Night's still open.
Oh, yeah, Starry Nights, but Dark Horse closed.
Dark Horse? I heard what you said. I'm kidding.
I forgot the name of the plaza that was right across from the museum. It was like
You're talking to the guy who just learned where the museum was.
no, you have to know that little mall there, next to Starry Nights Cafe.
Oh, like the little series of like strips and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know it actually had a name. I thought it was just a bunch of stores.
But there was a coffee shop there too called Dark Horse Coffee, and they closed a year ago.
That's sad.
That was my spot when I used to go to Comics Etc. Because Comics Etc. is like a block away.
Wait, it's another place I gotta go is Comics Etc.
Oh, dude, Andy there, he's the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetest guy you ever meet.
I'm gonna talk to him, see if he wants to come on and talk about
Oh,
it.
dude, reach out to him. Tell him Sal.
That's like Sal sent me.
Yeah, Sal sent you.
Sal sent me. Is that like your that's your endorsement, right?
Oh yeah. Sal, you gotta do the mafia thing.
So my friend, he says.
Hey, Sal sent you. You gotta.
That's how you get those free pizzas from Salvatore's, right? Tell him Sal sent you.
That was the worst joke. That was the worst joke my dad used to make it when we were kids. It was just when we used to pick up pizzas at Salvatore's.
Yeah.
Because his name is Sal too. Yes. He'd be like, "Hey, do we get a discount because my name is Sal?" Every time, I'm like, "Dad, it's not funny anymore." It was funny the first time.
So we used to go to Darien Lake all the time when we were kids, and we would we'd rent the RVs, and we would go with the same family. I'm not gonna say the family just because for whatever's sake. I just want to like. So we would go and we'd spend like a proxy. We'd spend the whole week with them, and we would, because we're in the RVs, we had access to the facilities earlier than normal guests, because you would just walk in, they don't really block it off. So we went in the one day, and the father and the son in the RV next to us, the people we were with, they just disappeared for a bunch of hours and stuff like that. And they all came back later, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't need to do anything else today. We've just gotten in line ahead of everybody, like literally all day long." And I guess they were going around telling everyone that they were the Darians. So they would use their first name and they'd say their last name was Darien, and then people would just, "Oh, I'm sorry, do you want to get on? And then the people were running the rides, they're just like, "Oh yeah, get right on." So the whole day, they're the Darians just pretending and shit. Like, how did nobody catch that? Are the Darians really people or something like that?
It's called Darien Lake. It's like, it's a national monument. It's not like a family.
I knew a guy though, his last name was Darien, so it seemed plausible.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like Darien is in the lake, so it's not his lake, like possessively, it's just him in the lake.
Old man Darien goes inside the lake.
Comes out every night, covered
He
in
dies.
mud.
His throat was slit.
He goes, "I don't want to have possession, I just want to be this lake." Or in the lake.
It is cursed, and that's why Six Flags left.
Is it not Six Flags anymore?
Oh no, dude, they left.
No shit.
10 years ago?
That's weird. Why would they leave?
Six Flags, man. They started oozing money probably 2005, and then they just started closing amusement parks. And instead of closing, another company came in and bought them out.
No way.
And now I think it's better because now it's owned by a private company, and now they have better prices.
Yeah, I think
Back then when it was Six Flags, it was like $60 to get in.
I think I've been twice in the past 10 years. Both times were for concerts.
Yeah, but the concert gets you into the park.
It does. No, you gotta buy a special ticket, but you get a discount on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I would love to go, but because I have a bad back, almost every ride is like.
Yeah, I can't do it. I get motion sickness.
I'm like, I want to get on, but I
The
also don't want to
Predator
be
is calling me.
Oh no, Predator.
All that
Even
wood.
when I had good back, there was
Yeah.
no way Predator.
Imagine making like a modern theme park that just has wood roller coasters, and like you update them and you use different kinds of wood, like really flexible soft wood, so when you go around the curve it like bends and stuff, like just to fuck with people.
I kept telling my wife that when VR was popping up, I was just like, watch, they're gonna make a park that's purely VR.
Everybody goes and sits down in somebody else's fat, farty, smelly seat, and they get like air jets and water sprays on them.
Yeah,
and their feet will go up and down.
It's gonna be like a generic roller coaster, and what's gonna make it feel different every ride is you just put on a goggle.
It'll start with like a destination where you'll go to like some random building, just
Yeah.
like somebody's got like 5 rows of 5, and then eventually you can buy and put it right in your living room. You'll be like, all right, family,
Yeah,
let's go to Darien today. Let's go.
5 years, give it 5 or 10 years. That's gonna be the future theme park.
How twisted is that? Like that's gonna be the future, is people literally not doing things to do things.
I'm going to a park to sit on my ass that I could have done at home.
That's why I like our Friday nights and like stuff like this so much, because you put the electronics away, you put all that shit away, and you just get to talk to somebody. Because I've had a couple people already reach out and be like, oh, would you do like a phone interview? Would you do a Skype interview? And I just, like, I'm no one. And I always say no. I need to draw a line in the sand for my part. And for me as a productionist, it's, I want to be here with you. I want to be able to reach out and touch your face if I wanted to. Like, I want that. That's, because
there's so many podcasts and Skype shows, you know. It's nice to have a one-on-one show.
Yeah.
And I've done podcasts over the phone before, and it just doesn't feel.
You sit there, you're twirling your thumb, your legs are going up and down.
Yeah, it's awkward. You're just sitting, like, I did one in my old office, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just drawing, and they're, like, asking me questions. I'm like, yep. It's not the same, like, here.
Not engaging, yeah.
You get to interact, you know. It's a lot better.
There's like steps that I need to take, so eventually there'll be like notepads on the table, so if you wanted to write something down to remember for later, and like there's gonna be steps to this, and obviously we were just talking about the backdrop so we can make a little better soundproofing and, you know, make a more appropriate increased production value.
Neon sign.
Yeah, it's gonna say eat at Moe's or something, eat at Joe's, is that what those signs say?
Oh, Joe's is gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, they were
You're blowing my mind today, I'm so
Yeah.
heartbroken.
Yeah, I'm at home so much drawing that I keep up with current events.
So obviously you were, so you came from Puerto Rico and then you kind of like worked your way through. So like what was your childhood like growing up from like elementary, middle school to high school?
I don't know, it was pretty good. Especially, most people, like, they'll always harp on the fact that they grew up poor. But I think
I was doing that joke with my wife too every time.
I'm always like, I think it was one of the best things that ever happened to me growing up poor, because I appreciate things a lot more now.
Are you saying that people who have money don't appreciate them?
No, I'm saying that when I grew up, because we were poor, like my dad would be like I said with the video game, like, even though I had to trade away my stuff, I'm like, it was harder to get the things I wanted. Yeah. And so now I can tell my daughter, like, hey, you really want this? Let's go. Let's go cut the grass. Let's do this. I ingrained that in them. People with money work for it too. You know,
it's like a incentivizing.
I just feel like I appreciated it more now that money is still hard to come by, especially as an artist.
Oh yeah.
Artists don't make any money, but I know that when we don't have money, I'm not freaking out because I have my family.
You've been like that before. It's not like a different feeling for you.
It's up and downs.
Yeah.
And even people with money have up and downs.
Yeah.
And so money is just a piece of paper stamped by the government.
Yeah.
And so the real riches in life come from interacting with people. And
for sure.
Drawing and health. And I learned health in the last few months because I almost died in September. And that was huge for me because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm so focused on doing comic books and going to Comic-Cons that I was slowly killing myself.
Yeah.
Now,
so what was going on? Obviously, you said you had a couple issues, and you said you have a back problem. Like, what happened? What's that from?
well, I broke my back
Jesus.
in 2009 at an old job.
My God.
But it was a kind of a blessing.
But you just said, you go, I broke my back. You literally used those words, I broke my back.
Well, it's, you know, it broke and it was mended, you know, so, you know, the science did mend me.
Bulged, herniated discs, broke some of the...
So 4 discs completely pancaked.
Oh, damn.
So...
But were you trying to catch a fat guy?
No, it was just, I used to do inventory at gas stations.
Yeah.
I hated it. You know, it was like one of those dead-end jobs you know you're going to be in for life.
Yeah.
So I always had a passion
Allegedly.
I always had a passion for life, you know, and passion for art. And so when that happened, I was just like, what am I going to do? I was on...
Can you tell me how you broke your back?
Well, I was lifting a box of beer.
Yeah.
At a gas station. And it's just one of those, you know, huge crates, and it just
like fragile flower.
Well, you know,
mean to make fun, but God damn,
you're doing that for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's gonna wear down.
You just give out. And I remember when it happened, like my legs just went to gel, and so when I went to the hospital, the doctor was just like, "Had you come in that day, I don't think your disc." Probably would have put you in a chiropractor, would have been fine. But the problem is that I kept working 2 weeks after.
Oh God, shit!
So then I kept doing that. So I didn't realize that I had bulged my disc. I thought, just a spasm.
Yeah.
So then eventually it just, you know, just pancaked. And so I didn't know what to do, and finally I got taken out of work. And so for those years I was workers' comp, and I was just like, I can't be disabled. Like I hate being home all the time.
You got kids, you got family.
So during that time I kept thinking, what am I gonna do when I get better? And I've always drawn. So I'm like, I'm gonna do comics. And luckily my friends at First Print Comics, they were like, hey, we're gonna do a cover for Ninja Turtles. We want you to do the cover.
No shit.
And so I'm like, sweet, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I was already getting better. I was getting a lot better. And I finally settled my workers' comp case. And I was like, I'm ready to do this. And the cover came out in 2014.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I wanted to do comics, but once I saw that the comic book industry was the way it was, it's very politics driven.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the right people, you don't get anywhere.
It's such a saturated market.
It is a saturated market, and you know, even though all the artists are very supportive of each other, which is awesome, you know, I just felt like I was getting nowhere, and going to conventions, my fans are super supportive. I love every one of them, but I finally had to step back, and I'm like, these cons are kind of...
There's got to be a way that you can like advertise without having to go to the cons to meet those people, and then sell your books strictly online, like, or print to sell or something like that.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I was thinking about it, and my story, my comic, I didn't feel like it worked as a comic anymore, because I feel like comics...
I think it does. I think you're putting yourself in a hole there.
No. I wanted to make a movie.
I was just gonna say, why don't you do animations on YouTube, dude?
Right. And that's where YouTube comes into play. Is I want to build a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
And so that's when I built the Tarot Studios page.
I love it.
And now slowly getting a subscriber base, so that way I can introduce the new Midnight Eye movie.
That's where it's at, dude.
And you know, I can reach more people.
Tons.
Globally, and I can interact with people on YouTube and do these live streams and.
I mean, think about all the conduits too. You've got YouTube, you've got Twitch, you've got Ustream, you've got Facebook Live, you've got Instagram Live. You figure out a way to put them all together, try and monetize it. But you can also show the development process, and people will watch that and they'll comment on it, and you might even be able to get ideas on how to make things better, and side stories, side plots,
and other streamers.
Yeah,
they all. Everyone I've met so far has been super supportive. I very rarely have come across someone that's been like, nah, don't do it.
That person probably eats rocks for dinner.
Well, you know, the bigger YouTubers will will say, no, YouTube's dead because they already made their money, you know.
There's not a limited amount of money in this world to be made doing these things. I just saw somebody yesterday. They made a Shark Tank like 2-3 weeks ago. They literally made an invention. The people who do Blue Apron, right? You know Blue Apron? Yeah. They came on and they pitched a Blue Apron like business. It's exactly like Blue Apron. It's fucking Blue Apron. And then literally, I think it was Monday, I was watching whatever was on Hulu, and I saw an advertisement for another Blue Apron-like company. So don't fucking tell me the market's saturated and there's too much shit in there. Unless you're starting a flower boutique, like, Jesus Christ, there's so much money to be made. People are always looking. There's more people, there's more shit that needs to be bought, there's more things that have to be done. Don't fucking tell me it's dry.
Well, and not just that, it's just if you already have a fan base that comes with you, and that's been the hardest part, is transferring my fans over from Facebook to YouTube.
Why?
Well, I noticed that YouTube's algorithms are a little weird, or Facebook, because I will link my YouTube on Facebook, no one sees it. But I'll put a post up, like...
That's what I've had to do, I've had to
hey, I made a peanut butter sandwich today. 34 people like it.
I love it!
What the hell?
Well, somebody said, so like I just started using Instagram because of one of my guests. And then I just started using Twitch because of one of my guests. So now I'm going to have to start using Twitter because of another one of my guests.
Oh, I love Twitter.
I said Twitter's the best way to get it out.
Yeah.
Bind everything together and then get it out using Twitter.
Well, Twitter's the way that I got more subscribers right off the bat now.
Fuck you. Come on. I really got to get Twitter now?
Dude, Twitter,
God damn it.
I'm telling you right now. So, Twitter,
I don't have any time.
Twitter, what's nice about Twitter, though, is you can link all your other accounts to it.
Yeah, I think what Instagram's already hooked up to, but it's like I said before, it's not hooked up to the actual Life on Record Facebook page.
Right.
Which I'm thinking at some point is just going to end up dying because everything I post just goes to my Facebook.
Well,
and everybody who's on the Life on Record page is on my Facebook.
Well, that's the thing. Facebook too is like I have an Otero Studios web page on Facebook.
Yeah.
No one sees it because Facebook favors people who pay.
Yeah.
So if I sponsor the link, then people will see it. And I always tell myself, should I sponsor it? But I'm like,
still there. I don't know, $3-5.
I'm like, I'd rather spend the $3 or $5 on a new piece of equipment for recording.
Increase the quality for the people who are already there.
Yeah, especially because on my YouTube channel, I noticed that I was recording in 4K the other night with my phone.
Yeah.
The drawings look amazing, but it was taking up 30-40 gigs on my phone. So I have to delete the file.
That's why I like the any converter. So like when I record onto the Q8 over here, my file's gonna be about 15 gigs when we're done here. After I convert it to whatever movie file I decide to, it goes down to like 3 or 4.
But it doesn't compress it.
No, but when I upload it to YouTube, so it's 1080p here, when I upload it to YouTube, it's like 270, and I can't figure out how to change it. I would rather take longer to upload a good video. I don't know.
And that's the thing is the 4K takes forever too.
It takes, like, you gotta put it on at night.
I took a 15-minute speed drawing, and it took me 4 hours. 15 minutes, but then if I did it in 1080p, it was 15 minutes to upload.
Oh, fuck you.
So, you know, and what doesn't help is, I don't know anybody out there who has Spectrum, Time Warner.
I'm waiting for green light.
It's very spotty, right?
I'm waiting for green light.
Yeah, me too.
Because they got the fiber wire that they just put in here. As soon as you get it, yo, I'm gone. Gone, bitch.
They swear it's 60 megabits per second, but I test it and it's constantly at 12.
It's hilariously bad. My buddy, he tested this, it was at 5. He goes, you're gonna need to get an Ethernet.
What are we gonna do with 5? You know,
I can't do shit with 5. I put it right next to it. I'm like, literally, you're right here. You have to go nowhere.
Well, when you're drawing too, and that's why I can't live stream the drawing aspect, especially when I do the Cintiq drawing.
Yeah. Because,
you know, it's gonna graphically alter the bandwidth. It's gonna kill the bandwidth. And then I have kids watching YouTube upstairs. I have my father-in-law watching his YouTube. My wife's on her phone on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So that's so many devices using up.
Such a minimal amount of bandwidth. So it's crazy how much they charge for such a little bandwidth.
Oh, it's criminal.
That's coming from me. I'm the guy. I'm about to switch to Tang. I have the card upstairs to switch, but right now I spend I think $55 a month for 2 gigs. through T-Mobile, because this is pretty much T-Mobile phone. But when I switch to Ting, it's just going to be pay for what I use. And I've never used the 2 gigs because I know 2 gigs is so little.
Well, you're going to be on Wi-Fi most of the time, right? So
No, I'm outside most of the time. I work probably 8 or 9 hours outside every day.
Well, I'm just saying, like, when you actually use the phone, though, right?
Well, like, because I'm part of a couple chats, so they always pop up, and then I always get the notice from YouTube, and that takes up data every time someone's like, hey, someone post a new video. I'm like, can you just wait till I'm in Wi-Fi and then blow my phone up, please?
See, the phone contracts, and
They're silly.
it's just like, even when things start to get monetized, it's like, it's all going to go to all the...
Yeah, the other stuff you've already spent money on.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's like, I'm doing this more to get the art out there because the convention scene was just too much.
Well, what it costs, you got to rent the table, you've got to get to the con.
Well, it was, I got lucky because turtles are so big. So they see that I did a turtle book and they're like, hey, we got a free table for you, you just gotta pay.
No shit.
We just gotta pay for this. Or some places will actually just pay for everything and just gotta drive there. So I got lucky in those regards, but what was killing me was just the travel. Being in a car for 5 or 6
It's not
hours.
good for your back either.
5 or 6 hours back. Hotel beds, they're not as comfortable as my bed at home.
He goes, I got that orthopedic.
Yeah. And the thing is like when I'm at home too, and especially if I'm in another state,
Yeah.
I have medical insurance for my back that's covered for life because of my back problems.
Yeah.
But out of state,
Something happens.
I'm not covered. So like if I have a flare up, I have to wait till I'm back home. And then my chiropractor's here, so if I have a bad day, I'm like, hey, I need that hookup.
Yeah. Help a brother out, please.
Straighten me up.
That's funny. Hey, people, it can speed up the green light coming to your neighborhood. Yeah, no, we already did that. We did the online application thing. Dr. Bertonian is definitely watching, and I'm missing half of what he's saying.
Oh man,
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Sorry, doctor.
So sorry, Doc. Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? That was back in my b-boy days.
I couldn't b-boy back then. I
was so small back then. I was so, my wife found, oh my god. She found one of my first break battle, and I was like, I swear to you, I was better than this video. I swear to you, I was better.
I always wanted to break dance, and you know, I always tried, but I was always so heavy, so I'm like, big dude.
Yeah, because they'll say that. Because did you ever watch Joey Ego from crap? He had that really popular video floating around like between 04 and 07 where it had like the electronica background. I think it was Blue Accession or Perfect Blue Accession was the song. And he was just doing like flips and stuff, and he was kicking soccer balls and flipping down to get them, and he was jumping over trash cans and flipping and jumping on rocks and stuff.
No.
Well, in his videos, part of multi-level moves, that's the company. But they had this big ass bodybuilder dude who's doing like flares and stuff. I was like, so it is possible.
Oh, I wasn't big, like muscular. I was fat. Like.
Oh, because it was a guy. It was a local guy. It was probably about 220, 230, and he was probably like 5'8". I don't remember his goddamn name, but he was a big boy, and he fucking killed it at those competitions, yo.
See, I remember like, cause some of my buddies used to b-boy.
Yeah.
And they would always try to help me. Like,
just gotta get it.
Like train it.
Get it.
I'm like, yeah, I can't do it.
It's all those baby steps, right?
But this was before my back went out. But now I'm pretty sure if I try, I'd probably break my back again.
So it's interesting though that you're currently an artist, okay?
Yeah.
And then throughout high school, like what was your plans? What were your sports? What were your activities? Like what led you to? Because obviously you went to working in, you know, I don't want to say like a gas station, but essentially you worked in a gas station.
It was like I traveled to different gas stations because I was like an auditor.
Oh, I know what job you did. Those people don't give a fuck about you.
Quantum.
I didn't want to say a business name.
It's okay.
Allegedly.
No, they actually cared, but it just the way that it all went down kind of sucked. But
you're working 12-hour days. There's no reason in this population you should ever work a 12-hour day. I don't care who you are, unless you're like, you know, a super wealthy billionaire and you want to keep that money rolling in. There should be a point though, wealth-wise, where once you get there, you're like, okay, I get this. I can go live life now.
Yeah, no,
maybe that's just coming from a poor guy.
they didn't care. But yeah, no. When I was in high school, what I really wanted to do was do comics.
He's giving us compliments. I blew him a kiss.
I wanted to do comic books and I wanted to do animation, but
did you take those classes or something while you were there?
Well, School of the Arts is awesome because
School of the Arts. What year did you graduate? Hold on.
The what?
What year did you graduate?
04.
Fuck. Yeah, you might have known my buddy Corey McCants. The rest of the coffee's yours. He was I think he was there for music theory or I don't remember.
I'm so bad with names. If I see the face, maybe it'll pop up, but
I still can't believe your cousin Reyes. Say I was not your cousin. You guys are so different.
Well, when we were in Monroe, like I remember when we were gonna go to different schools, we were freaking out.
He's like, "Who's gonna have your back, man?"
Because we were together since freaking elementary school.
Yeah.
Like, and then I got accepted to the School of the Arts, and then we're like, oh no, we're going to different schools. You know, it kind of sucks.
Was he hurt?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, especially because another buddy of ours at the time, I don't know if he still talks to him, but I haven't talked to him in ages, but he ended up going to another school too, so it's like all three of us.
Oh, damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah. But, you know, you eventually down the road probably run into him again.
Yeah.
But
what was that quote from the Tom Cruise movie Vanilla Sky? Another life when we're both cats. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Dude,
she was crazy.
I went through a phase.
I
went through a phase where I watched that movie almost daily.
I couldn't get. So I got through that once, and I got through Sunspot Mine or the Jim Carrey one.
Oh, Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, and then what's that other one with the kid from fucking Scrubs where he loses his mind and he comes back and he loses Garden State? Is it Garden State?
See, I never watched that one.
Yo, those three movies all rolled out around the same time, and I was like, yo, what is going on with the psychotropic world right now in film? Like, it's all these super deep, hard to get a hold of, like, make you think and wonder about being a crazy person.
I dig Vanilla Sky because it's kind of like The Matrix, and I like movies like that, you know, where it's like a movie within a movie within a movie.
Okay, so yeah, obviously I saw when I was too fucking young, but
Truman Show, like I like that.
God, you're ridiculous. So with Vanilla Sky, what was it? It was because he got deformed, right?
So the movie, when he gets into the accident,
yeah,
he gets deformed,
gets his fucked up face.
So then they say, oh, we'll bring you back, we'll put you in this vat, and then you'll be fine. So the whole time you're thinking that he got reconstruction surgery,
yeah,
but he actually they killed him.
They euthanized him.
Yeah, that's why they kept putting him
like a cat.
That's why in the whole movie they kept bringing up that commercial for that company that
no shit
that puts you to sleep.
Yeah.
And then in your dreams you live out your fantasy. What happens in his fantasy is that it gets corrupted.
Oh, God.
So it's like bad software.
Yeah.
So at the end, he meets that weird dude.
Imagine how twisted that is. You're like, all right, y'all are going to put me down, right? Yep, okay, cool. This is going to be nice and easy for me. And you start going to sleep, and then all of a sudden, for the next, 80 years, it's just monsters and ravaging and shit like that.
Like
this isn't what I paid for.
The idea of it...
Someone's going to get a refund.
The idea of it is awesome, though. Like, I could totally live with being put to sleep and living in a dream world as long as it doesn't get corrupted, you know, like I could
blast you full of DMT or something. Just die.
Sign me up. Like, make sure that in this dream world I am from the planet Vegeta. I can fly. I can change my power level.
I want full control. So here's a fun fact I learned the other day. If you ever think you're in a dream, look at your hands. Because in your dreams, for some reason, your brain can't process hands properly, so they get really fat and stuff, or try to pick up a book or a piece of paper and read it. Because for some reason, just the way that your brain works while you're dreaming, it can't put together sentences and stuff like that on a sheet. So look at your hands and look at a piece of paper. And once you're in there, now that you know you're in there, so I did this the other night.
That makes sense because in some of my dreams, there's I'll sometimes have dreams that I'm putting together my comic book collection. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing on the
titles. You're like, how do I organize?
What the hell?
I have a theory about dreams that when you're dreaming, you're actually tapping into another universe where something's happening to you, and you're watching it happen.
I've always thought that because
my brother.
I always thought that the multiverse theory is true.
Yeah.
Because some dreams are way too real.
Right.
And I'm like, that could happen.
Yeah.
But things have played out so differently.
How about the really fucked up ones though, where you're just like, there's no way, and then you're like, yeah, there's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way.
Well, like there's like in one dream, there's like, this is before I met my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that I was with a girl that I broke up with years ago.
Yeah.
But I would have ended up with her had things changed just slightly.
So you're saying you were tapping into another you?
Yeah, like.
I wonder about all those times you died. Are you really there watching you die?
I've almost died. Like, that's why my one of my old martial arts instructors used to be pretty funny, because he'd be like, well, on the Chinese zodiac, you're a tiger.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that explains why I've almost died like 8 times. So
I'm just a cat.
this 9th time, I gotta be really fucking careful.
Yeah. You gotta go back there and like record them all, just figure out what's there and what's not there.
Well, because like when I was 6, I went to Disney World,
Yeah.
and we went to a water park, and I almost drowned. I got into a car accident, and one of the people died in the car. So I made it out. The 3rd time, I got shot here. Like a bullet hit me right here. I got shot at a party.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
You know what saved me?
Sal, you got shot in the fucking head.
You know what saved me though? Brick.
Do you have an adamantium skeleton? You got
Snick,
shot in
snick.
the goddamn head, dude! Oh my god!
Dude, it's so many times like I've almost shit the bed, you know, and I'm like, it must be because I'm a tiger.
Insane!
Good thing I'm not a dragon.
Oh
I
god!
would have been slayed.
It's like dragon heart. You gotta give away half of your heart. The guy's like, I'm not the dragon's
I'm
heart.
the Highlander.
God, that's so scary, dude. You got shot in the goddamn head.
It's funny though, cause when my friends who were at the party,
Yeah.
they retell the story.
Yeah.
They make me out to be like this huge, big hero.
You're like, he ran in front of the bullet and blocked it with his face.
I was like, no man, I was drunk. I didn't even know I got shot until I walked into it. Literally, I was on the porch and I was just like, and then I hear firecrackers go off, and then I feel something hit my head. So when the police come, right? The detective's right there. The detective's right there, and he's just like, so what happened? I was like, I have no idea. I got shot. Like, why are you talking to me?
I'm having trauma issues right now.
It was so funny though, because my older cousin was at the party, and when it happened, he was so terrified of when my parents showed up, that he just bolted.
Your dad was like, we left Puerto Rico because of things like these.
Right? In Puerto Rico, like, I'm pretty sure I would have died.
Oh my god.
But it was.
Oh, that hurts.
I look back and laugh, but even that night, like, I was laughing because I was like, cousin Joey just bolted.
You need to draw that animation. Just like, this is the time I got shot, and just you sitting on a porch with like a fucking bullet wound in your goddamn head.
I try to keep things a little PG on the
no,
channel.
man, you gotta put that on a t-shirt. You sell the shit out of that and I got shot. What do you mean the time I got shot?
I got shot, and then I'm like that. No, I'm not a rapper.
No! That's too much.
It's so funny because like,
oh shit.
no one, like, when I went to school, because it happened on a Saturday when I went to school on the Monday, I had the bandage over my head because it, you know, it was like, it was only a couple stitches, and
I was down here, sorry, the Band-Aid for an alley.
I remember everyone in class, they were like, you didn't get shot, no one believed me. I was like, yeah, I got shot, and they're like, why wasn't it on the news? I didn't die.
That's why it's not on the news, fucker.
It would have been on the news had I been dead.
Then you would have been able to ask me this question. Stupid.
It was so funny though, like, I look back and you can laugh at it now.
That's so scary, man. Yo, what the hell?
But and then it was multiple times, like,
Multiple shots.
no more shots, but, you know, like, you know, close calls with, you know, machine equipment and stuff like that.
What I'm gonna do from now on, like when I have children, is every time they have like a near death, I'm literally just gonna write it down. And then at some point in their life, I'm gonna give them bookends like, it's your responsibility now to fill this in. Every time you almost die, write this down. Just because imagine like how grateful you are for that, the fact that like the way that statistics and odds work, that you were just a fraction of an inch over this way, and it grazed this way, and it cut you open that way, or
Well,
you fell down a stair and it missed one more step and you would crack your neck, or...
Well, the detective said that had it not been for it being an enclosed porch, you would have been dead.
Mm.
So I'm like, that's cool. Can I get back to my beer?
Yeah. I'm just thirsty over here.
Yeah, I was just like, I was having fun till you assholes. Because I wanted to keep partying.
Yeah.
It's not until I walked back into the party that people were like, "You're bleeding." I was like, "Really?" you're reckless when you're young, you know.
Man, Jesus.
But it was fun. Like
How old were you?
18.
Allegedly. Got it.
I know we would have gotten in trouble for the
Yeah.
alcohol, but the cops were more concerned about catching whoever
About
shot
somebody
the
getting
house.
shot, yeah.
Because the whole thing started because the guy who owned the house
Yeah.
kicked these guys out.
Well, where were you living?
Well, it was a house party,
Oh, got it.
and it was in a bad neighborhood,
Yeah.
and the party was going fine until the owner of the house kicked these guys out because they were like being belligerent with the women.
You could have any beer you want as long as it's a Corona. You gotta leave, bro. We only got Corona.
No, it was worse than that. They were just like touching the women.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and so the owner of the house, he was just like, "You gotta leave."
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "F you, F you." And I saw these guys leave. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there on the porch, and I'm like, I was drunk already.
Yeah.
And then like 20 minutes later, I hear the firecracker. I thought it was firecrackers because it was near the 4th of July. So I'm
Yeah.
like, because school was gonna get out like 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So it was around summerish.
How do you get that mad and not being able to get laid at one spot that you shoot that spot up, as opposed to just being a rational individual
Dude.
who does that and just going to go fetch somewhere else?
And now as an adult,
An adult.
I can blame it on one thing: alcohol.
Oh, don't say that.
See, well, that's the thing. It's like alcohol responsibly is fine, but you give a bunch of not even 21-year-olds alcohol. That shit happens.
would disagree. Alcohol doesn't affect you like that. It's up to the consumer.
I don't even think half those guys were 18 yet. I turned 18 my senior year of high school.
So you guys were a bunch of fucking kids and somebody had a gun as a child.
It's
What
the
kind
hood.
of kids did you hang out with?
It's the hood, man.
Where did you live?
Well, I didn't live there.
No, where did you live?
Well, I lived in West Side, like by Lyle. So
Stop, don't even, that's almost this bad.
Not as bad
You're
as
like
where
a
we
road
were.
away.
no, we were at Clifford.
Oh, shit.
Clifford
Remember Otis?
I actually,
Did you ever go to Fudda Dong over there?
yeah, I know the owner.
I took the wife there a couple times, and every time
Such
we'd
a
go
bad
there,
area.
I would ask them for a seat by the window just to make sure I could watch my car not get broken into.
If you want good pho, you gotta go.
We go to see a lot.
Yeah.
What's
'cause
that other joint in Greece?
There's a place in Greece.
Yeah, right next to the McDonald's over by, what's that road? If my buddy Norm was watching, he'd tell me what it is.
I had no idea there was a pho place.
Yeah, it's a small joint. Pho's not like their specialty. They're like an Asian foodery. Did you ever do the car shows? They used to hang out at the McDonald's over there. It might have been one road past Lyle, whatever that is. It's near Mount Hope. Mount Reed, sorry. So if you get off at Mount Reed, like the last possible exit, and you make a right heading north, that first intersection there. If you go down right, there's like an auto zone. You go down left, there's a McDonald's right there.
Oh, okay. You're talking about where the Family Dollar is?
Yeah, the same plaza.
Yeah.
There's a joint on the end there. It's pretty new.
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't even know they had pho there. I thought it was just Chinese food there.
Oh, that's so racist.
Well, because it used to be a Chinese restaurant before.
It was, and then they changed ownership, so now I think it's a Laos restaurant, or it might be a Thai restaurant. But
Oh man, you're making me hungry.
I just go to see all that. So fucked up thing. So the wife and I start our diet on Mondays, and I was planning on going to Donuts Delight tomorrow morning to get breakfast. And she got up before me. She had shit to do this morning. She goes, "I brought us a treat." And she brings in Donuts Delight. I was like, "Motherfucker!" I was like, "This is how I know you're my wife." I was like, "We both thought the same thing."
Ridge Donut is amazing.
Yeah.
It's right here, right off 104. And the oil they use is so good. It's like lard. It's awesome.
It's those trans fats, bro.
Oh, dude. If you're going on a diet,
Yeah.
and you know it's gonna be a miserable diet,
I don't have miserable diets, man. I enjoy myself when I cut.
I
gotta do it, man. You gotta have fun.
I have little pockets of fun.
They're just scattered all about. It's like one of those advent calendars. It's pop one open.
I have a Kit Kat today.
One of my best friends in Florida, he started his diet with one of the trainers at the gym that I worked at in Florida. And the trainer was like, "Why is your weight not going down?" Blah, blah, blah. He goes, "We got you on a diet, we got you on this, we got you on that."
The trainer looks back and he's got a Snickers.
He goes, "Are you cheating?" He goes, "Yeah, you told me I could cheat." He goes, "How often do you cheat?" He goes, "Every day." He goes, "That's not what I said." He goes, "Yeah, you said I could cheat, I could have a cheat." He goes, "I inferred that as every day I could have a cheat." So he's like, "Oh, I'm like a giant-sized candy bar every day." Steve.
See, I calorie count.
Yeah.
So I calorie count every day. So like near the end of the week is when I have like we'll order pizza or something not so healthy.
So that means you get breakfast, no lunch, and then dinner.
I actually skip breakfast. I have a pretty big lunch and then I have a really light dinner. So I stay about 1,500 calories a day.
You're too low.
Well, I have some fat to give away.
Yeah, but you're what, 6 foot-ish, and you probably
No,
weigh...
I'm 5'10". I'm short.
Damn, son. And then what do you weigh, like 215, 220?
220.
Yeah, so your basic calorie intake is like 2,200 for a day without any adjustment.
Well, it was 2,000 originally.
Are you dropping?
I'm trying to drop, yeah.
Are you dropping? Don't say you're trying. Are you?
Oh, yeah. I thought you asked, like, is my goal to drop?
No. You never say try. Try just infers that you're ready to fail.
No. I'm, my goal is to hit 180 again.
Hell yeah.
Because I got to 180 when I first released the Turtle book, and it was the best shape I was in.
No
like
shit.
And then slowly packing back up when I started doing conventions.
So are you able to still go to the gym and like kind of get stuff? Because you really can't do a lot of standing stuff.
Well, because of what happened in September, I had to stop working out, but now I'm working on again, slowly.
Damn, I would have fucking sued those assholes. They
Well-
just gave you a goddamn stroke.
Well, the problem is that what I like to say is that there was too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I have a nerve doctor, I have a back doctor, I have a neck doctor. And so they were all prescribing me different things. And so they gave me like a cocktail of problems. And so I got hospitalized for stroke and then epilepsy. I didn't have any of those things. I had to research myself that it was interactions between the medicine. So I cut all the medicine.
Pain?
Oh, dude, I'm in pain all the time. But
You should look into kratom or CBDs.
And
Because kratom works really well. That's how I stopped taking like the.
But I heard that the CBD oil is not legal.
Yeah, it is. 50 state legal. It says it right on the bottle.
Is it?
Yeah. You can buy gummies at a head shop. They can't sell it if it's not legal. It literally says on it, 50 state legal.
I definitely have to give it a try because the problem is that after I cut all the medicine, I'm in a lot of pain all the time.
Amazon, $30 for 30 of them. Take 2 or 3 at a time. Oh, bitch.
What I've been doing is just a lot of exercise. The exercise helps with the pain.
Too, the endorphins. Kratom works really well too.
Triangle push-ups help. And then I do planks.
Yep.
So the planks will kind of straighten my back.
Yeah.
And
So
my chiropractor helps.
What about the
a lot,
Supermans? Can you do those?
Superman push-ups? Or?
No, so what, you lay on your chest, you put your arms out in front of your head, and you put your legs straight back, and then you just flex so that only your midsection is on the floor. You kind of squeeze your lower back muscles to lift yourself
I've
off.
never tried that.
Yeah, Supermans. Those will strengthen the shit out of that low mid back.
I should definitely try that because I've noticed ever since I started working out again, like I said, I have to do it slowly because if I go back on whole like I was doing, because before I was going to the gym 5 days a week, and then I was doing karate Saturday and Sunday.
Belt are you?
Well, now I'm only an orange belt.
Oh, you lost your belts?
No.
You digressed.
I started doing karate about 3 years ago, but before that I did Filipino martial arts.
No shit. You the baton fighting, right?
No, Bukiti Terja, which is Kali.
Some good coffee. Kali. So what's that?
It's just straight up self-defense. There's no
Nice.
rhyme or reason to it. Like, it's just, hey, if someone's trying to kill you, this is how you killed him back.
Is that who's that cat on YouTube? Who's like, so what you want to do is you want to grab their fucking balls. You want to rip them off. Master Wayne.
I never heard.
Yo, he'll make your day so good because he describes like I think he uses Wing Chun or something like that. But when he describes it, he's just so vivid and detailed and graphic about it. He's like, when someone come at you, you take your hand, you punch him in the fucking throat, and you're just like, oh my god. You're like, I'm ready for this now. He's coming at me. I'm gonna punch him in the throat, man. Like, yeah, he gets into it so hard. He goes, and then you grab this, and then you grab that, and then you do this. He goes, his life is over, bitch. Fuck with me. And you're like, damn.
Oh.
You grew up in the dark side.
I've always just liked martial arts because it always helped like keep my stress level down.
Yeah.
And you know it's nice to have self-defense, but I've always loved all the different styles.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
And so I have a friend down in Pittsburgh, and he owns a Taekwondo studio.
Ooh,
so
TKD's cool.
So when I go down there, I like to watch his studio. So I'll take in any style. So
yeah, buddy.
I think when you're open to all the styles, you don't have any biases, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of positives and negatives to all of them. So one of the guests I recently had on, he was the M1 champion. He 13-0.
See, I can never compete because like I get too competitive.
When you get in public spaces, they make you uncomfortable, just like a huge throbber.
No. no.
She's like, you're nervous, aren't you?
No, I get really competitive, and I get like too competitive. Like that's how I am.
You can't get too competitive. It's shit, Sal.
That's how I play with video games. Like when play.
That's why I gotta play board games with us, because then I can see the perspiration running down your face.
Oh, you have to see me when I play video games. Like, I get angry. I'm like.
Yes. Those are the best people to play with.
Like Street Fighter.
Yes.
Like I just got Ultra Street Fighter for the Switch.
All right.
And I was playing online. Just had a winning streak, and all of a sudden this dude comes on, and I'm in the beginner lobby.
Shit's in your cereal.
Oh, dude! And we just kept going back and forth, and then finally he like kicked my ass, but like this much health bar, and I was like, mother. And my wife was like, what happened? I was like, I lost a Street Fighter. She was like, really? Really? You gotta yell at that? I'm like, you don't understand. There was some serious lag.
That's like when I was watching one of the guys who's watching right now. He was playing Cuphead the other day, and he played the same boss for over an hour. And I was surprised he was keeping as cool as well as he was, because he just kept dying.
Dude, it's like Kings of Fighter 99. I don't know if you ever played that game. There's a boss in that game called Chrysalid. I'm probably butchering the name. But this dude is the cheapest boss I've ever fought. Yeah. He's like M. Bison on steroids. And so when you get close to him, he grabs you. But from far away, he does like a tornado kick that covers the whole screen. Oh, jeez. So you can't get near him, or you can't do projectiles because he'll stop them. And I kept playing Kings of Fighter, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
It's so broken when they do this shit.
Dude, it's on purpose, and you can even lower the difficulty all the way down.
Still almost impossible.
He's still freaking hard.
Yo, you know what game was hard as shit? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Part
the
one?
second one.
Oh, part two, yeah.
Like, did you ever go through and like hand collect all the emeralds so you could become supersonic? Because Dr. Robotnik at the end is so damn hard.
It makes like Sonic and Knuckles seem easy in comparison.
Sonic and Knuckles is okay, dude. You play Knuckles, you just glide everywhere.
Yeah. See, I'm a huge fan, but.
Whoa, the wife brought us cookies.
Thank you.
John, look at that. The wife brought us cookies, buddy.
That looks so good.
Taking hints from his girlfriend.
I'm taking hints from his lady. I'm taking cookies all day.
Thank you.
You got diabetes? Because I don't have diabetes.
No.
That was for you, Steve.
I will if I eat too much of this, though.
Stop.
This looks good.
This is why I love her.
Cookies are my kryptonite.
Junk food is my kryptonite, bitch. You can't go wrong with junk food.
Well, like burgers. Like I know burgers are so bad for you, but I can eat burgers all day.
Why are they bad for you?
Well, that's why like when we go to Red Robin, my wife's like, I know what you're gonna ask for. I always ask for the wheat bun, or the whole grain bun,
Mm-hmm.
and then I asked for chicken instead of the burger meat.
Mm-hmm. You're breaking my heart, dude.
But when I'm trying to bulk up, then I ask for
See, I'm the other way. When I cut, I eat all the red meat I can. When I diet, when I bulk, I eat all the chicken I can.
See, I always thought that the chicken, because it's leaner,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it would help cut faster.
A little bit, but with the red meat and stuff like that, like I'm doing keto. So about 70% of my calories are going to come from fat. About 25 plus are going to come from protein. And everything else is going to come from like carbs, but really no carbs. So like I got like high fat, you got neck in there. High fat, I got chicken fat legs. I got ground beef, steak, sausage, bacon, eggs. Well, pretty much my proteins, and then all the cheese I want. High fat dairy. And then I put coconut oil and everything. I put butter on everything.
See,
You know, and it works, dude.
I love butter on my eggs.
Yeah, it's a savage thing, isn't it? The only thing you gotta make sure is you get like a couple servings of greens in a day to try and push all that stuff out. But it works, dude. So like I have a buddy right now who's doing it, and he's down a ton of weight. And then last year when I did it, I actually started a couple hundred calories higher than what my maintenance was, and the weight was dropping. Like it just fucking comes off, dude. And then you don't get hungry during the day. You don't get grouchy or anything like that.
See, my buddy, he's an ex pro wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me all the time. He's like, you gotta do keto, and you see him now. He's like freaking ripped.
Mm-hmm.
And when he used to wrestle, he was a lot bigger and bulkier.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all keto. Like
It's beautiful though, and like because of the way that your body operates to burn fat, you don't get that weird hunger craving, that weird gut like breath smelling stuff. You drink some water during the day. You have whatever else it is that you need. You can have a snack or a meal if you want. You can have nuts, but like you don't
Yeah, I
ever
noticed
just
my
get
cravings are
starving,
gone
dude.
now.
It's crazy, right?
my cravings when I was eating horribly when I was at home because of being hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through candy. I was eating a bunch of junk food. Like I would be drawing, and then I'm like, man, I really want to eat this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a bag of chips. And now that I'm eating a lot, higher fat, higher.
You're
I'm
eating
actually-
healthier, yeah.
Well, not. Not super. I wouldn't say super healthy, but
Because I'm jealous. About the cookies. It was too good.
Yeah, they are delicious.
But it's just crazy how quickly like your gut biome changes and you stop craving certain things. It's like the habit for me, because I'm not that idiot who's like, I'm gonna diet. I'm starting today. I'm like, I'm dieting. I start in a couple weeks. I slowly convert into it. So like during Monday through Friday, I pretty much eat healthy until dinner, and then I eat my dinner. So I get my normal food, and then I binge. It's like during the day, I'm still like running on fats. I'm trying to get my body more used to it. So that way when Monday rolls around, it's just like, oh, we just don't get the shit at night tonight. Can we get more butter, please? I'm like, yeah, I'll give you more butter. Just eat a pat. All that high salt butter.
That's how I am with like I said, on the weekends we'll eat. I don't ever say I'm in a diet.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is just like I'll have, the pizza. I'll have the the junky foods whenever I want. But then during the week, I eat very conservative. I'll have my salads.
Yeah.
The more if instead of eating eggs in the morning, I'll have eggs for lunch, and I'll scramble 4 eggs and butter.
Dirty bitch.
And
You try to pay more attention to it too, but you still want to live your life.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's a lifestyle. It's not a fucking diet. It's just who you are. It's just how you
You're
live.
still gonna die. So.
Yeah. 80 years old. I remember for 27 years I did the same fucking diet.
It's like these like I knew a bodybuilder who all he did was eat chicken and brown rice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
It's my favorite diet. So no one ever.
I'm like, change it up. He's like, yeah, but I want to keep this. I was like, yeah, but don't you want to enjoy, burgers every now and then?
I like
Like-
giving myself that period of the year where I just go ballistic.
I love Baconators.
Dirty girl. Dirty savage monster girl you are.
And I got my wife hooked on it too. Like, we went to Wendy's once and she got a junior bacon cheeseburger. I'm like, try a Baconator.
You're like, hold up. You want a Baconator? Yeah. You want a bacon? Yeah. Okay. Here, have a bacon. She wants a Baconator.
Dude, It sucks because sometimes they don't cook it right. Like they don't toast the bun.
You always gotta ask for it too.
Oh,
Like always say, fuck, what did my buddy say? So like if you go through and you order like a burger and fries, he said there's a certain thing you have to say every time you do it, so that way you make sure it's fresh because they have to order it. Oh, so like
the grill.
I think it's like something like with the order. So like let's say a Whopper, I don't go to Burger King. It comes with like X, Y, and Z. You order it with or without one of those things. Because then they have to make it fresh every time. Because they don't have them just sitting around like I always order without pickles and onions.
I hate pickles, so
they don't have
and tomatoes. Like I don't like tomatoes on my.
But that's the game.
Because it's cold.
Fries. Oh, you say extra crispy fries. Because then they have to make you extra. You have to make another batch.
Or no salt. Because then they always put salt.
Tell me you want your fries with no salt, and I'm gonna hit you.
No.
I'm just metaphorically with brainwave.
Because if they don't put salt on it,
yeah.
Because whenever they take the fries out, they always put salt
in there. Yeah.
So if you say no salt, they always have to.
I can't imagine those fries being that good though.
Oh, you have salt packets in the truck.
Because I'm ready for it.
Dude,
I want the freshest food.
I stayed at so many hotels that my car looks like a hotel now.
I remember, yeah, because you were showing me like the fold-outs for all your artwork and stuff.
Oh yeah, you've seen it.
Awesome.
Seen it. Oh, it's my truck is such a mess.
Mm.
It smells like I drove to.